Yo, hey, check this out.
You're gonna learn today.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Lakeside Chat. I'm your host, Brother John Muhammad, and thank you for tuning in. As always, we're here with community figures, political leaders, and everyday people. We'd like to encourage you to go to the page, facebook.com/Lakeside Chat. And today, as we mentioned, that we're here with a great friend of ours, friend of the community, my brother and candidate for mayor of the city of St. Petersburg, Anthony Cates III.
Thank you so much, brother, for welcoming me here.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
I do humbly appreciate this, and yeah, just thank you so much, man.
Man, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, for those who don't know, who is Anthony Cates?
Who is Anthony Cates? And you know what? That actually reminds me my first mayoral run back in 2013. Not to get off topic. I don't know who it was. Put out a blog,
right?
And they labeled the blog, "Who is Anthony Cates?
Oh wow!
And why is he running?"
Right.
So you asking me that? I guess I can now answer to that blog as well and let them know who Anthony Cates really is.
Gotcha.
And who is Anthony Cates? As I state all the time, I sometimes underestimate who I am because, like I say, I feel like what I do, the things in the community, these are the things that the everyday person, as you say, should be doing.
Right.
But I am Anthony Cates III. I started being involved at an early age. I'm talking 7 or 8 when my father, Anthony Cates Sr., he got us involved early. And I mean, we were doing, I didn't understand why at 7 years old we were out cleaning the streets, picking up trash, helping out the elderly neighbors, put windows in, put doors in, things of that nature. I didn't understand, and I now know, I reflect back and I realize what my father was doing and what he was setting me up for, and it was to do what I'm doing today. And who am I? Oh wow, I'm a people's person. My passion is to help people. My entire life, all I ever done was help people, did countless selfless acts to help, to make other people better. Because that's just who I am. And
absolutely. So with that, helping people, and you said you ran in 2013 and you're running again. So what inspired you to run for mayor of the city of St. Petersburg?
Wow, what inspires me? The people and the neglect that our politicians put towards our people. And it's unfortunate at the age of 23 when I first ran that I had to jump out and run because I did not feel the passion. I did not feel the care, and I felt betrayed by our politicians. And it's at 23.
And that's not uncommon, particularly a lot of people feel that way, politicians don't really have our best interests.
And that's so true, and it just puts in your mind, why must we continue to trust the people who we don't trust? And we don't trust politicians. However, election after election, we elect these same career politicians into our offices to hold our seats and to put in charge of the decisions, the everyday the decisions they make. It affects the everyday lives that we face.
And I think that's important to note, because a lot of people, they say that they don't do politics or that aren't interested, but what you just said, it affects our lives on a daily basis.
Yes, and that's something that we must get out of. We really must start paying more attention to politics, because whether we like it or not, it's not going away. And this is our livelihood at stake. We're putting our lives in the hands of people who lives a certain standard of life, and as long as they go home and get to feed their children,
Right.
and they don't care about us who are down here.
Right.
People like myself, the people like you,
Mhm.
the people like the students who attend Campbell's Park Elementary,
Yeah.
Melrose Elementary.
Right.
These people, they don't too much care about us because
Right.
they live a lifestyle, and that's that.
You just made me think about Michael Jackson,
Man,
right?
oh, man.
They don't really care about us.
And there you go, they don't, man, and it's unfortunate.
So let me ask you this: just with the race that you're running, what makes you think that you'll win? Like, how confident are you in your ability to actually get this thing through and win this time?
And what makes me think that is, I won't even say I think, it's I know. The people, they're tired of what's going on.
Mhm.
The people in 2017 are more awake than
Right.
what they've been in the previous years, elections. And it's just that they're tired of what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
the message that I have for the people, I'm of the people.
Right.
In fact, I labeled my campaign as the people's campaign.
Right, right,
So
right.
anything that I speak on, it's not going to be something that I want.
Right.
This is something that the people want.
Right. And one of the things, just in the circles that I'm in, going around the city, one of the big topics is economic development, and people are talking about true economic development. So two things for you: what does true economic development look
Wow.
like, and how would you make
Economic
that happen?
development is small businesses. It's our everyday people who we can afford the opportunity to become producers
Right.
and not consumers.
Oh, man.
Because we live in such a consumeristic
Yeah, say that again,
world.
right? Producers, not
Yes,
consumers.
Producers, not
Right.
consumers. And with the way I envision
Mhm.
economic development, it's people like you and I, the small business owners like Annie Terrell's Beauty
Yeah.
Supply Store. It's these small businesses, or for instance, Miss Tasty's Ice.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
these small businesses who we need to invest in,
Right.
because that's who's going to employ our neighbors, our children, things of that nature. And if we don't invest in the small businesses, how do we expect to continue to thrive and make our economic standpoint in this world become vast or be
Right.
recognized on a national level? We must start investing
Right.
into our small communities in deprived neighborhoods.
Right. And then another one of the things, again, going around the city with the work that we've been doing, community organizing, when you look at crime statistics, crime stats are trending down all over the country, but there's this feeling among people where they don't really feel safe in their communities. So, previous administrations have invested heavily in the police. I think it's like 56% of the budget. So what would be your approach to public safety?
My approach is the youth. I'm vice president with I Support Youth, and we focus specifically on the sustainability of our youth.
Right.
And if we don't invest in our youth now, they're going to slip through the cracks. And that's what has happened in the past years. Like you say, we invest heavily in our police
Right.
department. And for instance, last summer, we gave $500,000 to Pinellas County Sheriff to lock our babies up.
Right.
Why is our mayor year after year writing a check, several $100,000
Right.
check?
Right.
Here you go, Pinellas County Sheriff's, and to lock our babies up.
Right.
We have to get in early. We have to focus on early childhood education.
Right.
We have to focus on these smaller organizations that's going to help curb our youth and crime, and we got to get them involved.
Right.
We have to get them involved. We cannot continue to go down the path that we're going down and not educating our youth, creating a cycle year after year to where that we're not set up for success.
Right. All right, so what we'll do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk more with mayoral candidate
Yes.
Anthony Cates the third.
The third, yes.
And we'll be right back with more from the Lakeside Chat. Welcome back to the Lakeside Chat. This is so much fun, man.
Yes,
by the way, stuff happens behind the scenes that you don't get to see. Shame on you. Come down every Sunday at 2 o'clock. Go to the page, facebook.com/Lakeside Chat. As mentioned, we're here with mayoral candidate for the city of St. Petersburg, Anthony Case III. And before the break, we talked about the youth and education. And it seems like when you talk about that, I can tell you're very passionate about the youth and the work that you do with them. So what type of experience do you have in working with young people in the community?
The youth, like I say, it started early as a kid. You know, I would like to believe now that I'm coming into the conclusion of I was a natural born leader.
Right.
And everything in my youth has propelled and stepped me up for what's now. And early in high school, I was actually volunteering with the Sixth Circuit Court under a program called Juvenile Arbitration.
Okay.
And it's basically giving our youth a second chance at life before they get unfortunately convicted and have a record which will ultimately hinder them for the rest of their lives.
Right.
And I've gotten over 200 hours volunteering with that program, and I've even shot an educational DVD with the Sixth Circuit Court Judge Greg Demers when he was in office. And now, like I say, I support youth. I'm a vice president, and I just do. So we do. I won't say I.
No, I get it. I
get out of that mindset. We do so much.
Right.
And with our youth, and several months ago we employed 52 youth. And which brought our total now to well over 160 jobs that we've prepared for the youth right here in our economically deprived areas of St. Petersburg, Florida.
That's awesome.
And that's just part of what I do. And even so, I've given, countless dollars in school supplies to
I remember
elementary. It's just so much. It's so
Case love the kids.
That's what it is, and it's just so much. And it's all about giving them that opportunity, because my father afforded me and the rest of his 8 children with the opportunity to succeed in life. And it's only right that I bestow that upon the other children here in St. Petersburg, Florida, who I care so much about and who I call my family.
And so with that, thinking about the children and, starting young, and then a lot of people, when we talk about changing in our community, a lot of the change has been incremental. And so we've been going around talking to people about what we can do to have a transformational change. What would be your thoughts on that? Should we continue this gradual trek towards, progress, or do we need something?
I would say, as my father always told me, when something seemed to got hard, or I was stopped, or it wasn't moving as fast as I would like, he always told me, Rome was not built overnight. And so some progress is better than no progress. However, can that progress be accelerated? Yes, it can be.
That's a great point.
And that's something that the message that I have to get out to the community. We must come together.
And I appreciate that. I really appreciate you saying that, because other candidates and other people will say, when I get in, I'm going to do all of this and sweeping change. But your approach sounds more practical and more realistic.
That's what it's all about.
That.
It's all about being realistic. And like I say, I've been out here at an early age, and nothing is done at the snap of your finger. It takes time. However, we will accelerate in the right direction. We will make sure the correct consensus are in place. We will make sure that all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed before we do make decisions. However, we will get it done.
And then you said this is the people's campaign.
Exactly.
And so, during mayoral elections, oftentimes the participation and turnout is low. So what's your plans on helping to increase turnout?
Door to door. That's how every program that I was a part of, that's how we got our participation, by going door to door. And those same grassroots practices, what led me to this point now, is what will be continued throughout my duration in politics, throughout my duration through life, and throughout my duration of what I teach back to the people. We're going to hit the same grassroots campaign. We got a solid team, and we're going to keep going door to door.
And so what kind of response have you been getting when you go knock on the doors? What are the people saying?
And in our more deprived areas, everybody's excited, of course.
Yes,
They're looking for that new change, that new phase.
Right.
However, publicly you can consider me new. However, behind the scenes, I've been out here.
Right.
But publicly they're looking for that alternative candidate, and that's what I have to offer. Yes, we have to face things like the pier and the water. However, that does not affect the everyday working person.
Right.
Does it affect me necessarily? No. What affects me is our failing schools. What affects me is our crime.
Right.
What affects me is the people don't have an opportunity at being self-sustaining, contributing citizens to our society.
Right.
And those are the things, the real issues that we must face before we can have a grandiose pier, things of that nature.
Right.
We can have that. However, if we don't put money or opportunities to the people that are more deprived, that's where you have that crime issue, where we're going to go and take.
Yeah, that's
which
like
we don't want that.
In other countries and places around the world, they have these tourist destinations.
Exactly.
But once you get, further south or east or wherever you go in the country, you see the real, the real picture, and so it's good to hear that.
And it's so funny that you say that, because I frequented Washington D.C. a lot last year, and miles away from the White House, right?
Yeah.
The neighborhoods are so deprived. It's saddening.
Right.
You can see the cry out for help.
Right.
And they're being abandoned, and I live amongst the people, and I feel it as well, and we're tired of being abandoned. We're ready to step up and claim our stake in this.
So when you talk about neighborhoods, being that I'm a president of a neighborhood association, and St. Petersburg is largely, segregated, for lack of a better term, that might be the right term, into different neighborhoods. What would be your plan or program to help strengthen and support neighborhoods in the work of
grassroots campaign, allocating more funds to help with marketing towards our neighborhood associations.
Right.
We anything in the city, really, there's no, how do I say it, there's no inclusion. There's no inclusion with what's going on. Back to walking the neighborhoods, I talk to our citizens. They don't know what a mayor is. They don't know they have a city council member. They don't know they have neighborhood associations. And it's because the inclusion, there's none there. So it's just marketing to help our neighborhood associations get their message out to their neighbors, to let them know that we are here. We are here to help you. Whether you got an issue with your neighbor who's playing loud music, or who that's unfortunate, or trash in the neighborhood. There's funds available for that, and we must inclusion. We have to let them know that we're here for them, and it's just like I say, in our deprived areas, we don't know.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll take another quick break, and then we'll come back and continue our conversations with candidate for mayor of City of St. Petersburg, Anthony Cates III, right here on the Lakeside Chat. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Lakeside Chat. I'm your host, Brother John Muhammad, here with candidate for mayor, Anthony Cates III. And we talked about education, we're talking about crime, civic engagement, and his candidacy for mayor. And we want to continue that conversation. So thinking about becoming mayor, and we in a strong mayor format, so you would be responsible for the day-to-day operations of the city. How prepared would you say that you are, and what has prepared you to be able to manage the 3,000 employees of the city, and how would you approach that?
Like I say, everything that I've done in my life has led me up to now. I was over operations of a Supercenter Walmart in Wimauma, Florida, in which I'm still employed for Walmart, and I'm over operations. So everything that I've done in my life has led me up to this point, whether it pertains balance sheets and budgets with the companies that I've managed, to having civic engagement with the community, and most importantly, the 260,000 citizens that house this. Like I say, it's my family, and I'm always prepared to help my family. So Yeah, it's just, and on a level of 1 to 10, I have to say I'm very ready.
Yes, sir.
With the 10 and a half, with the possibility of an 11, I'm ready. Because like I say, this campaign is the people's campaign.
Right.
So all 260,000 citizens, it's not just me doing the job. This is us doing the job.
Right.
Then we all must come together. Our strong sectors of our city must come to our more weaker sections, and our weaker sections must go to our stronger sectors for help. And we have to come together because we are one.
Right.
It's just not South St. Pete or North St. Pete, Old Southeast. It's St. Petersburg, Florida.
Right.
So we all must come together as one and help each other out.
And then your platform, if we wanted to find that, where would we be able to get?
On my website, which is www.anthonycates.com. Also, weekly I'm hosting intimate meeting greets at my home.
Okay.
Where I'm welcoming people of the city to come to my home. And ask me questions, or we sit down and we come up with solutions to the problems that we do face. And I welcome everybody to my home. Right. Everybody.
So as we begin to wind down, what would you say would be the greatest, the best thing about the city of St. Petersburg right now, and then what would be one of the biggest challenges that you would see in far as changing it as a mayor?
The best thing is the people.
Right.
The people.
Right.
The people. We come together in tough times. The people. That's the best part. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to put it. The people are the best thing that happened to us. We make St. Pete great. Right. People, and now it's just it's my job to continue to bring us together. Right. Continue to make us that strong, viable bond. So that we don't, it's no breaking. Although how tight I'm pushing together, I'm pulling apart, and we must be just that tight. Right. And it's my job and my team's job, and the 260,000 citizens who make up this city's job. We have to make that bond a bond that'll never break, and we just got to come together and continue to help each other out.
And so what would you say would be the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge? Economic development. Okay. And that's across the board, because I can't really say economic development. I'll say education. Right. Because without education, you know, nothing.
Yeah, because then you have with economics you have horizontal growth, but education is vertical growth.
Yeah, and we must we must start from the root cause. Education and getting our youth involved.
In previous administrations, they always kind of say that, you know, well, education is more of a county thing, and we can't really get involved with education so much. So how would you handle that, or what would you say to those who take that approach?
Yeah, it's everything. Everything plays into the city. It's not just the county. Yeah, we're inside of Pinellas County. Right. However,
because they control the school board and you know, those type of things.
We must work hand in hand. We have to put our stake, because we see what the county is, where the county is getting us. My entire life, I was taught to believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America. You know. So we as a city, we must intervene. Because the same people that we're leaving up to our county to educate, this is what's happening.
So you suggesting maybe you would put some more culturally sensitive things, and you would advocate for that as a mayor?
We will work together hand in hand with whatever superintendent, with whatever school board official, and like I say, with the citizens. We have to get more involved.
Excellent. All right. So is there anything that you'd like to say to the people before we conclude?
Yes. We must. I just love looking at my brother. But
well, thank you.
Yeah, we must come together. We must stay together as a people, because we are one city. We have one mission, one dream, and that's to move to economic prosperity, educational prosperity. We must work as one bond and becoming successful and becoming more of a unit to move our city in the right direction. And I do see it. And with me as the next mayor of St. Petersburg, Florida, I will not stop until it is done. And there will be no such thing as there's no room in the budget. My salary, I'll find room for the budget. That $198,000 salary, that's going back to the people. And programs to help make us great as an entire city. and small businesses. We have to be more involved with our smaller businesses. Our Midtown St. Petersburg, which has been deprived for years, we have to rebuild that, and we have to rebuild it now. Mayor after mayor. My father moved here in 1974, and every chance or opportunity that he had to tell me, 16th Street has been the same.
Right.
Nothing has been same. So you're talking under Mayor Foster, under Mayor Kreisman, under Mayor Rick Baker. 16th Street is still the same, minus the medians that went in the road on 16th
that was nice.
Street.
They planted those trees
and even 18th Avenue. And I believe that was under Mayor Baker.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
So nice.
So,
but no real impact.
There's no real impact. We have
symbol without substance.
We have to put into our small businesses, and we have to grow our communities.
Excellent. And give me the website again.
The website, www.anthonycates.com. My email, anthonycates4mayor@gmail.com. My phone number is on my website, which is 727-642-7773. You call me directly if you have an issue. You call me directly. Like I say, I'm welcoming everybody to my home to meet so that we can come up with real solutions to help combat some of the problems that we are having. And like I say, together we'll grow as a city.
Excellent. And there you have it. Case for Mayor. We thank you for tuning in. Please make sure you go to the website, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/Lakeside Chat. And also remember, key dates. The primary election is August the 29th. Make sure you get registered, go vote, and also take the survey. Now, Brother Jabbar, make sure that I say this. PBR2017.org. Let your voice be heard. Take the survey. And again, go vote. As always, we'd like to thank you for tuning in, and we encourage you to continue to believe and do good.
And always remember, no debate, vote Cates.
All right.
Case for Mayor.
My man.